So, moms are spending months planning their birth. They are literally having vision boards, playlists, apps. They are downloading templated birth plans off of the internet in every single detail. I mean, you are literally going through the type of stroller, you're going to be using the bottle warmers. There is a level of attention to detail when a pregnant mom is planning her journey. But I'm bringing this all up to say that that same level of detail that you have to plan your birth plan, to plan your wedding, I want you to put that into postpartum. Welcome to Fourth Trimester Voices, the podcast where we delve deep into the fourth trimester. I'm your host, Dr. Choa. Moms are told, hey, like just get through pregnancy, get through your birth, and then, hey, that's it. That's all you got to do. Come back at 6 weeks. I just, I really want this to change because that 6 week check is just, it's a checkpoint. It's not a final destination. It's just to be, hey, let's check off this button here and see our moms because it's what we have to do. Usually the visit is about 15 minutes and then they go and then that's it. It's not, you're not graduating any sort of special certificate. This is literally a checkbox in your maternity package. Unfortunately, there's a lot of research out there that shows that most of the complications happen after you give birth. In fact, 2/3 of pregnancy-related causes of deaths happen in the postpartum period. The most dangerous period being within that 42 days after you give birth. So moms are planning their pregnancy, their childbirth, and then they're planning for the baby in the postpartum because they feel like, hey, I get through me during pregnancy, and then postpartum is all going to be about baby. But that's really not the reality because you still need to be very in tune with your own self in that postpartum period. And you also need a plan because the research, it shows postpartum preeclampsia, gestational hypertension, postpartum depression, infections, life-threatening bleeding. All of these emergencies happen within that first 2 weeks. And a lot of moms just don't have a structured plan for who is checking in, what's going to be happening, what their recovery looks like, who's supporting them, and then what to do if things just don't feel right. I always tell a story of one of my moms who was going through some complications and having pain and popping tablets. And she just didn't really feel like these complications were related to her pregnancy or being postpartum. And so she just ignored it. And so it's really a time to listen to your body. And when something feels off, I know you want to say, hey, let me go and be with my baby, or let me do this for the baby. But this is really an opportunity for you to check in with yourself. So all this to say, this episode is about talking about building a structured plan. So we're going to talk about postpartum plan. You have a birth plan. I'm going to help you build a postpartum plan. Without a plan, mom, you have potential to feel isolated, unprepared, unseen, overwhelmed. With a plan, it changes everything, right? Because you're going to feel empowered because when you know the emergencies and the things that you have to look out for, you know who to go to when things go wrong. You feel supported, you feel safe, you have a birth team that is in your corner. So your postpartum plan is just as essential as your birth plan, maybe even more. So let's go into it. When I talk about building a postpartum plan, I give mom 4 pillars to think about. It's a simple framework. It has support, health, home, and self. Okay, so let's break these down. Support. Ask yourself, who is in my village? That means like who's going to be cooking? Who's going to be cleaning? Who's going to be coming over to hold the baby, check in on you mentally, your mental health, emotionally, keep you company, sit with you. If you just need somebody to sit there with you, cry with you, write all these names down, write them on a paper, be specific. My sister is going to come every Tuesday evenings to have dinner with me. My friend is going to do school pickups for my other child. This isn't a time to have vague promises, vague, alluding to vague people, and maybe, no, you specifics. What is the name of this person? Let me write it down. We have to make the commitment now. If you are pregnant, I want you to make this commitment now. If you're in the throes of postpartum, it's not too late. We're going to get to you. But this is for my moms who are either thinking about being pregnant or are pregnant, because if you plan now, your postpartum is going to be much smoother. Okay, so pillar number one is that support. Let's plan out our support. Pillar number two is your health. They call it the fourth trimester because physically, it's still, your body is still in this pregnancy state. Their hormones are still there. There's still life-threatening emergencies you need to watch out for. So just because you deliver the baby doesn't mean it is all over, right? So I want you to also focus in on your medical care. I want you to really understand what the life-threatening things that you need to watch out for. So if you had a headache, it's easy to say, hey, like, I'm just tired. I'm not sleeping. No, we're going to check your blood pressure. Have a blood pressure cuff. Every mom who's listening to this, if you are pregnant, please, please, please purchase a blood pressure cuff. Okay. Which doctor is following up with you? Is your doctor available to talk with you when emergencies happen? If you don't have a doctor available to you, do you have, a doula or a midwife or somebody else who you can access easily? Is the nursing staff at your clinic accessible? Get that number, put it on your fridge. If something feels off, you are going to call them. If you feel dismissed, you are going to follow up, go to the ER, whatever you have to do. If you have a primary care doctor, this is really not the time to lose them because they can really be integral in your postpartum. Now, a lot of times people find it difficult to access a primary care physician, especially when they just had a baby. One is the clinic may not see them. But if you have a relationship with that primary care doctor and if you feel dismissed by your birth team, midwife or your OBGYN, this is also an opportunity to call your primary care doctor and tell them what is going on. There's an emergency room. I know a lot of people are like, don't go, don't tell them to go in the emergency department. When you feel like something is wrong and nobody is listening, you better find somebody who's listening. If it's not going to be your OB, if it's not going to be a midwife, it's not going to be your primary care doctor, you're going to go to the ER. And when you go to the ER and if you feel dismissed there, you're going to come back to the emergency department. Obviously, if you're in Atlanta, you're going to give me a call because I want to advocate and I want to be there for you to help walk you through it. But if you are not in Atlanta and you don't have somebody who does what I do, you are going to take it upon yourself to get the help that you need until somebody listens. Not very popular, probably amongst my colleagues. However, this is something that I really want to emphasize for our moms. You know your body better than anybody. Going back to your medical care, we talked about blood pressure. We talked about keeping a team of doctors in your circle or your midwife in your circle when things go wrong and having them be accessible. I want to make sure that you also have a pelvic floor therapist. Every mom, pelvic floor therapist, pelvic floor therapist. I will sing this dance forever. Heart attack patients, they go to cardiac rehab. Stroke patients, they go to stroke rehab, right? Major back surgery patients go to physical therapy. You carried a baby for 9 months. Things shifted, your ribs flared, your pelvis opened up. So many things changed. Okay. I want you to see a pelvic floor therapist before you start running around here lifting weights because I don't want you to make things worse. Where in your 50s, 60s, you're already getting a pelvic floor surgery, which is extremely painful, right? There are things that you can do now to strengthen your core, to strengthen your pelvic floor that you may not be aware of because it's unseen. So oftentimes, moms don't understand that that is a part of their body that they need to work out, and they're not really in tune with that part of the body. And when things are going wrong, like hip pain and back pain, they are not attributing it to their pelvic floor. So, in your medical care plan, in your postpartum plan, I want you to write physical therapist, postpartum pelvic floor physical therapist. Just put it there, right? We can figure out funding later. If you can't get funded, there's a lot of apps, there's things, resources out there that you can use to try to get your pelvic floor rehabilitated. Please take it from somebody who saw a pelvic floor therapist 2 years later. And I remember my doctor who referred me basically was a urogynecologist and told me if I have another baby, I'm having surgery. And I better just go see a pelvic floor therapist right now because my pelvic floor, everything that I've been experiencing for the last 2 years, that's it. So I recommend that. Other people to put on this under this medical care bucket, lactation consultants. I want you to write on your notebook these names. I want you to put their names and their phone numbers. Google. If you need some resources, hit me up on Instagram, Dr. Choa, and I have resources and I can get these names to you. Okay. We can even schedule a call and I can help you do this. Your health matters as much as the baby. So I know you feel like you delivered the baby and now you're out of the window and it's all about the baby, but I hate to break it to you. This is actually a really dangerous time. So I want you to have a plan for this. Talked about support. We talked about health. Our next thing is home. Did you know that when you had a baby, things still need to happen around you? Laundry needs to get done, meals need to be cooked, groceries, bills need to be managed. It doesn't pause. And if you were doing these beforehand and your husband was doing none of these, let me tell you, these may drive you crazy because you're going to want to do these. And you're not even going to be in the place to be able to do this. So the mess is going to drive you crazy. So let's delegate this. Who's going to help run your home? This is a really good place for mothers in laws, moms, friends, sisters, hiring somebody to come and do this work every 2 weeks, every 4 weeks. Yeah. And maybe you can have a nesting party instead of a baby shower. Have a nesting party. Tell your friends to come over, cook meals, or they can order you like a meal delivery service. What's the one that I used to use? I used to use Factor meals. They can order that for you or pay for the subscription. And hey, you're getting meals and your family can even partake in this so that you don't have to worry about this for 12 weeks. 12 weeks is a really good number. I feel like after 12 weeks, baby's big enough. You may be getting a 6 hour stretch of sleep. So really consider who's going to be doing this or have a meal train. Have your friends set up a meal train or order groceries online. It's going to reduce your stress because it's not something you're thinking about right now. So when you deliver this baby and the headache of the home is literally everywhere and nothing is done because you don't have the capacity, that's going to stress you even more. So now you have the stress of being a new mom, the stress of taking care of a newborn who won't sleep. You're not sleeping and your house is a hot mess. Nobody's eating because nobody knew how to cook for, or handle food for themselves ever. So really think about these things, especially if you're the type of wife or partner or you are the person in the home who does all the things. That is you. We're going to have to figure this out beforehand. All right, so that's the home life. And then lastly, it's the self part. It's the you part. Moms get lost in it. Yes, I get it. You're not going to have time for the self-care routines and the going to get your nails and all these things, but you're going to take it slowly. You're obviously not going to be leaving your house on week one, going on a shopping spree or doing the same things that you like doing for self-care. This can be a simple 5 minute mindful meditation. It can be a simple journaling activity that you can have, a gratitude journal. It can be simple carving out time for prayer, 5 minutes of stretching, going to take a shower without worrying about the baby screaming or worrying that the baby literally may not be breathing. Because I know you've all had this thought you're taking a shower and you're hoping the baby is okay. In fact, I've been guilty. I've put the baby in front of the shower and showered because I was so anxious. But I say you can really just start with one activity. Put on your piece of paper the things that you feel like you need to be whole, right? Like I needed certain things. I need to exercise, right? I need to do some type of meditation or yoga. I need to take a walk. Just put it on the paper. And then you can talk about, well, how often can I do these things and for how long? And while I'm doing these things, who's going to be watching the baby? Name your non negotiables. So even if it's tiny, right? Because these are the things that remind you that you still exist. I'm not willing to part with my 5 a.m. coffee or whatever. I'm not willing to part with X, Y, and Z. Whatever that thing is for you, write it down. Okay. Now, I have an episode in my podcast that talks about birth plans and what to do when your birth plan did not turn out as it should. And I did that episode because a lot of moms face a lot of disappointment when they write out these elaborate birth plans and it doesn't go as it should. Same as the postpartum plan, same as the birth plan, I would give you this exact same advice. Just like birth plans sometimes deviate and they don't turn out as they should, the same things happen postpartum. So there's an ideal of what you would like. And then there's barriers and gaps and things that happen. Maybe you get readmitted to the hospital. Maybe you can't breastfeed because of X, Y, or Z. There are things that would derail this postpartum plan. So I want you to mentally think about that and be prepared for the fact that although this is my ideal and this ideal helps me have a better postpartum, there is a chance that it may not go as planned. Things that may derail your postpartum plan: insurance gaps, maternity leave. You may not have paid maternity leave. You have to go back to work after 6 weeks because those savings are drying up, right? Your pelvic floor therapist, your mental health visits, your lactation consultant may not be fully covered, but it doesn't mean you don't deserve them. What does ideal postpartum care look like? Our insurance systems haven't changed yet because people don't understand or value this as something mom needs. And so we're going to change that. I want you to think of, in my ideal state of postpartum, what would I want? Write it down. And then we'll figure out the rest. It doesn't mean you don't deserve all these things because your insurance covers it. They're going to have community resources. There's not-for-profit programs, there's doulas who are still going to offer some sliding scale options for you. There's also maybe some gaps, right? Awareness gaps, right? A lot of moms don't know that things may happen in the postpartum, right? And so these things may derail your postpartum. There are things that will get you in the hospital. A good plan, right, is going to account for that plan going wrong. It's also really good for you to educate yourself on all the things that could go wrong in the postpartum period. The financial barriers, the access barriers, the fact that you may need to be rehospitalized, the lack of support that may fall out. So write it all down, have your ideal, but also understand that things could change for you. So, what exactly does this look like in practice? How do you start? I wrote a book called What to Expect Next. And this is a guide that can help you do this planning. There are prompts or things that you can do before you deliver the baby that can help you plan for postpartum. And then when you get into postpartum, there's a lot of journaling that can happen during the postpartum period. If you need something tangible to help guide you, this is the place to start. If you don't have that and you just don't really want to do this and you need some help, then you can contact me. You can find me on Instagram, Dr. Choa. I would love to help build this out for you. But all this being said, I want you to, number one, write down your key contacts: OBs, pediatricians, primary care doctor, lactation consultants, therapist. Put those numbers down, put them in your phone, put them on paper, stick them on the fridge. I love it when you put it on the fridge. Schedule all your follow-ups in advance. Meet your lactation consultant in advance. Have them meet you in the hospital if possible. Have them meet you the first day that you get into the house. Know when they're coming, put it on the calendar. This is the day I'm going to have this. Build your support calendar. Who's visiting me and when? I don't want any surprise guests. I don't, because then they want to hold your baby. Your baby's sleeping. They're stressing you. So let's plan our visitation. Who's coming when? If we know Aunt Sally stresses us the heck out, Aunt Sally needs to come at 12 weeks postpartum or 4 months postpartum or after a year, whatever. This is really, really important. Share this with your partner or your support team so they can be aware of this. Plan for emergencies. If you wake up for chest pain, what are you going to do? If you have bleeding, what are you going to do, right? Planning gives you clarity. And then lastly, Your mental health matters. Normalize checking in. Text your friend, right? I know they may be texting you, but it's okay for you to text them too. You may just want to be check in with people so that you can feel like you have that connection with people. And you want to share and open up with people and tell them what you're experiencing. You can find that one person or get you a therapist. Those are particularly great in the postpartum period. Your postpartum plan is not just logistics. It's about giving yourself permission to rest. And sometimes when you write it down on paper, it's going to happen. Permission to not have it all the way together. Permission to say no when people want to come and hold the baby, wake up the baby. No, I need you to fold laundry instead. One of the most radical things that you can do as a mom is to say, I need help. That's not weakness, it's wisdom. Your baby doesn't just need you alive, your baby needs you well. I want you to start drafting your postpartum plan. Even if it's just one page, even if it's just bullet points, write down who is helping you, what your red flag symptoms are, and how you'll take care of yourself. This plan is your lifeline in those blurry, exhausting, yet beautiful weeks after birth. Remember, postpartum is not an afterthought, it's the foundation of your motherhood journey. Okay? So please prioritize it. I want you to share this episode with a mom that you know who's pregnant. If you're in the postpartum period and you're like, shoot, why didn't I? It's not too late. You can still write down who's coming when. You can still plan to have a pelvic floor therapist lactation. It's not too late. We're just adjusting it now, right? The timing is a little bit different, but I also advise you to do that for yourself. Put in the self care in your postpartum plan. Do all of these things, okay? If you want more resources or you need more help, contact me. Instagram is the quickest way. I do respond, Dr. Choa. You can also send me an email, info@emcare2u.com. Just hit me up. I would love to help you build your postpartum plan out. Okay? Until next time, take care of yourself, build your village, and know this: you're not alone. I'm here with you to guide you along this journey. Take care. Are you navigating pregnancy and postpartum alone? Are you feeling overwhelmed by the lack of support? You're not alone, and you don't have to do this alone. With EM Care, I offer personalized in home and telemedicine support designed to guide moms through the challenges of the postpartum period. Whether you need total on call services or periodic check ins in the home, I help women recognize the warning signs and I support you as your advocate. And I am here for you the entire step of the way. I want to create a postpartum plan that's all about you, your health, and your recovery. Follow me on Instagram at Dr. Choa for tips, resources, and to book me. DM me or email me if you have any other questions. I'm on all social media platforms under Dr. Choa, DrChowa. Let's build a village of support. Let's give you the hope you need to get through this period of time. Take care. My name is Dr. Choa, and it's been lovely talking with you all today. Take care.